Okay, little hand tutorial. So, callus shaver, toenail fingernail clipper, it's basically the one with the flat edge, pumice stone, and then we'll go over tape. But just a quick, what we're doing with this thing, make sure you do it when you get out of the shower. So your hands are wet, or not wet during, but have been wet. And you're basically just drawing it over anything that's rough and sticking out. So it's going to be kind of your common areas. And you'll know those areas because they will stick out, especially after you shower. It's really hard to cut yourself, so don't be afraid to push. You're just traveling flush with the skin. And you can get these shavers on Amazon or Walgreens or whatever for pretty cheap. And then there's also replacement blades on Amazon as well. So just kind of hit those areas, because basically what these big lumps are doing is creating a space or a spot for the bar to pull on and tug on, which inevitably will rip if you let it go too long and they get too big. So we want our skin to be tough, but we don't want these big huge lumps sticking out either. We want it to be as flush as we can. And if you have it anywhere else, you can hit it there. So that's the first thing. The next thing I'll do is take the toenail clipper, which is the flat one, and I try to get in to any kind of crease in here or anything that's sticking out. But these creases are the worst to have ripped, so make sure you keep those cleaned up. I don't think I have. Let's see if I can. You just kind of push down. You want it to be flat, because if it's the curved one, it'll cut you. So with these flat ones, you can get that buildup out of there before it gets too big and rips. And there's a couple other spaces down here, etc. So I won't bore you with doing that, but after all that's done, you can also hit it with a pumice stone. Again, these are pretty cheap, and just any areas that are rough, I mean, you're gonna get into. So you just hit that back and forth until you kind of smooth it out. You can see this area of my hand is super gnarled up. So spend some time with that until you get it as smooth as you can. And then sometimes shit happens. This one was a blister. I recommend leaving the skin on as long as you can. And then once it tears off, or it's going to tear off, then use your flat one to trim it all out. I'm still going to leave this on. It has popped, but still leaving it on there as long as possible. Next, we'll show you how to make tape for your hands. Okay, so I said I'd talk about how to tape your hands. We got the open coming up, so it's a good time to do it. First things first, length of tape. I usually just go about a forearm's length, and you get one piece. I like the Johnson & Johnson. It's what we sell at the gym. Basically, it's because it is perforated. You can see that, which allows it to breathe, and it lasts quite a bit longer and sticks a lot better. So first piece is the length of the forearm. You take it, fold it in half on itself, lengthwise. That is your base. And I'll just do a little loop. There we go. Little loop. Fold to the top. Take one more piece. Again, about the length of the forearm. This one can be a little longer because this is going to be the outer casing. So take your loop, And at the top, bring the other piece over, sandwich it, smooth that out. So now you have this little hole for your finger, a flat part. If you need to, you can tear it a little bit as well. But, so let's say I'm going to guard that part of my hand, or whatever part I feel needs guarding. Comes around, nice and flat, and then I tape, again, pull off about a forearm's length, wrap that around my wrist, and I'll usually do it with a little bit of a bent wrist, just because I don't want it so tight that I'll show you. So I'll kind of come down here, bend the wrist a little bit, flatten it out, and it'll come around just about 2 times. And like I said, with this tape, and then there's a little slack. This is maybe a little more than you want, but that's all right, because the reality is you're going to be tucked over the bar. And if it's too tight, it'll pull your finger down. And you want to have range of motion for presses, or if there's any kind of handstand thing mixed in with the pull-ups. And you can still lift with this. So anyway, that's that.